Welcome back to Notes from the Sanctuary. I'm Veronique.
And I'm Paola.
And we're learning to live a better, gentler life. And we want you to come along for the ride.
So today, we're opening the brand new chapter for the month of March. So spirituality and inner knowing. And it's about the quiet truths, the soft signals, and the ways that our inner light speaks even when our mind is busy. So it's just listening to that, I think.
And before we dive in, I'm actually going to ask you something that sounds a bit intense.
Okay.
What does the word God mean to you?
Okay. So this is a big topic. I'm not going to go into like a big philosophical debate. That's just not something that I want to even delve into. But what I will say is that I am actually in the process of learning and actually growing my spirituality. And I say that because I've always had this like open mind, open heart type of thought process. And I'm learning about different ways people think about who and what God is to them. So for me, at first, when I started this journey, for me, I thought God is some sort of all-knowing entity, something that, you know, the universe or something like this. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I think that that's still the case. I think that's still the case. I'm not super religious, churchgoer type of thing. So I'm not going to tell you God and the Son is, you know, of God. I'm not going to go into that. But I do appreciate the idea of some sort of being, all-knowing kind of. Yeah.
For me, God actually, I think, changes from day to day.
Okay.
And like for a while, I used to be, and I still am a little bit jealous of people that are very like set in their spirituality because they've got like this whole system that's got their back, right? Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I'm a lot more religion fluid.
I like that.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so from day to day, so like some days I feel like God is, you know, like a part of my intuition that I don't have like I'm not in touch with. And other days I think God is an entity or being, like, and I just feel like, and you know, I was raised Catholic, so some days I do still have that, you know, that little bit of that left where I think God is God from the Bible. Yeah. And it just, you know, it kind of goes with the flow. And as I've been, I've also been delving a lot more into spirituality by watching a lot of podcasts. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the theories that I watch are kind of off the wall. Like, I don't want to, like, for me.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't want to say that. But even in those, I feel like there's stuff that makes sense.
Okay.
Like there's bits and pieces, and I feel like we're all just trying to understand like the universe in our, like in what makes sense in the way our brain works.
I think so. With our own knowledge and experience, how can we understand what life is, what it's all about?
And just that biggerness that
big
that's
picture
out there, right? Yeah. Because, you know, you look at how like nature works, how like, you know, like everything evolved just the right way. And you're like, there's some sort of pattern there, you know, and God might be a pattern some days for me, you know?
Yeah.
So, but for me, it's a very fluid word.
And I think that that's how we're going to take this talk. So this is not to say that some of you may completely disagree. And I invite you to disagree, because I feel like that will be your path. Mm-hmm. That's your vision of how you figure out your own spirituality and beliefs.
Yes. And from what I've learned from watching a lot of things with people believing in things I don't believe in, is that there's often this human truth beneath it.
Yep.
There's often this, you know, like the outside might not match with what you believe, but like if you dig deeper, often there you can still relate.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, and I think that's maybe the most important thing. Like, how can we as humans relate to one another? How can we be kind to each other? How can we respect each other's thoughts, visions, spirituality, beliefs, all this stuff, and still be good people? Like, I think it's the values that really align us as a human race, at least hopefully.
Yeah.
That's the goal, right?
Honestly, if your religion is teaching you how to love, how to tolerate, how to embrace, I'm all for it. Like, please continue.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's why today we're going to be talking about knowledge versus intuition. So it's how the knowledge that you know and the intuition, what you believe almost, maybe it could, some people may call it like the faith or your hope. How both of those aspects can guide us in different ways. And also it ties into a resource this week too, which can help you explore a little bit within yourself.
Yes. So our resource this week is Wings of Light. Wow, I had a problem. I can't talk anymore. Okay, it's Wings of Light, and it's a spirituality and inner light journal. And I'm gonna give like a little story about my inspiration from this, just so that you understand how versatile this book is. I came up with the idea of this when one of my friends on Facebook posted a question asking if anyone knew of a really good Bible study journal. And I thought, wow, I don't do I don't do Bible study. But at the same time, I'm kind of like fascinated with the idea of like taking a verse and kind of exploring what it means to you and like just like going deep into it. And then I thought, but some people, it might not be a verse, it might be something else.
Yeah.
It can be just like, and that's when I came to the idea that this Wings of Light journal is going to be like very versatile because it's exploring spirituality for you. And so like, for example, there's two different types of pages. There's the daily wing beats, which is just like tiny little check-ins. And then on days that you want to go deeper, at the end of the book, we have full flight reflections. And so in the full flight reflections, I feel like that's where you'd be able to do like a lot of like the verse studies and that type of things, or just, you know, a study on, you know, a thought, something that came to you, like that connected you to your spirituality. The daily wing beats is kind of just checking in with yourself, like I said earlier. And it starts with, for me today, God is, because some people might not feel the same way every day as to what God is. Some people might find God in all kinds of different things and choose one for each day. She has her God is my son who's upstairs. She worships him. But yes, so that's the journal. I think it's actually a really nice little.
I think the value in this is that it's very fluid. Like you said, I think that's the goal. Mm-hmm. And like you mentioned in this journal, God is an open, spacious word. So it's actually here at the beginning. And I really like that because it set the stage. Opening it, I would be like, oh, this is like a religious journal. It's only for people who are religious. And sometimes I don't think that that's me. I mean, religion is so fluid, right? I'm not talking about organized religion here. I'm talking about any type of beliefs, right? Spirituality, it's all a type of similar things. So I really like how it's fluid, but then if you want to go into more reflection, you can, and it gives you the space to do that. And it can be anything, right? So it could be,
yeah,
like I saw something really interesting today that just
that you know made me think of
X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, you were like, you know, like my mortality. Cause that can be like, you know, you saw something that made you think of that. This might be something you want to reflect on.
I think that's cool.
Yeah,
and that's very neat. I like that. I like that a lot. So Thank you for that. And, if it's helpful to anyone out there, again, the link is in our website.
We're just gonna go with it.
Yeah, it's in the website there, so you can go ahead and check it out yourself if this conversation sparked something in you and you're gonna try it out. So,
And the wings, so all of the journals are called Wings of, and they're quite affordable too.
Yeah.
17.99 Canadian.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
Easy. So now we'll move into the conversation part of our chat today. So we use, as usual, a small list of questions, not scripts, to guide the flow.
And we weave in different life stages, spiritual cues, intuitive practices, and the Wings of Light journal if it fits in.
That's right. And sometimes it doesn't, so
we'll just out the window. Oh, why does it not do it? I wanted to.
Bang. Oh,
Okay, they will.
cool. We're fine.
All right, so
Yes.
I am asking the questions today. So, when you think about intuition, your inner light, what does that mean to you today?
I think today I feel like I'm shifting because I feel like in my life right now I'm in a process of growth. So automatically I'm always shifting, learning, changing. There's a lot going on, which is good. And there are days that feel more steady than others. But I like the idea that it's fluid because I'm fluid. I'm always changing. There's always things in different contexts, people, days, life. It's always. So I think today I'm probably a mixture of steady shifting, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I find two things interesting about this question. First was the use of the word intuition. I like that because intuition can be spiritual or it can just be something inside of you.
Yeah.
So I do. And the other thing is like it said today, and it kind of supports that shift, right?
Yeah.
So it's like today, what does it mean? And I haven't actually done a lot of thinking on the topic today. Probably because I didn't watch any of my podcasts that talked about this stuff. Like I go really deep into these thoughts. So for today, I think it's kind of more like my base of just trusting that. So my base, I think, is really feeling that there's like my intuition is linked to something bigger, but that bigger is something that I can't understand, that my human brain can't process.
And I think it goes back to what intuition is for us. And maybe we should have started there.
Yeah.
Because when I think about your answer and my answer, it's so very different. So I think for me, intuition, it's almost like a feeling.
An inner knowing.
Yes. Exactly. So it is a kind of knowledge in a way. But I think the difference like for me, intuition, sometimes it just happens. Sometimes I'm born with it. Sometimes it's just an experience, or it could be what people sometimes call that gut feeling.
Yes, exactly. The gut feeling there.
Yeah.
I feel like I trust my intuition a lot. And to be honest, I don't feel like it's let me down.
Good.
And I feel that exactly that to me, that intuition, that inner knowledge is linked to my spirituality, but in a way that I don't know if it's because of something bigger out there that's helping me with that knowledge, or if that gut knowing is just like part of what God is to me. Like I'm not sure which way it goes. Like I think it kind of shifts again.
Maybe that's why you said it's fluid for you, your beliefs, and it changes every day. And I think honestly that's beautiful, because as you figure out and understand how your beliefs stem, then you better understand what your intuition is, right?
Yes.
So I think that's actually kind of neat.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So how do you tell the difference between knowledge and intuition?
Yeah. And I think I started actually going into it in the previous answer a little bit, because I think it, like, again, intuition for me is like a gut feeling. Like I just feel. It's almost like I know without knowing, like a faith type of hope or just a vague idea. But I think the difference between knowledge and intuition for me is that knowledge is a learned experience or something that I can literally say, yes, I read this, I know this, therefore it's knowledge.
You know where it came from.
Yes. But maybe intuition, I don't. Maybe that's the difference.
If you notice, each time we say the word intuition, we're kind of like motioning like that.
Yeah, there's like a,
So it really
it's like a
feels like
something.
it's coming from like
Yeah.
below, right?
Yeah.
Like, because each time we talked about it, I just noticed you were doing it too.
yeah, it's
Yeah, so that's interesting.
and maybe I'm making those like movements with my hands because it's not something I can actually grab.
Yeah.
Like it's just something it's just there. It's an
just there.
idea.
It's just like, you know, like you get that feeling like, oh, this person is safe. And that's like a scary feeling to get when you think about it, to trust it, because, but like that deep intuition has never like served me wrong. Like, you know, that if someone is safe or not, like, and I feel like, is it like, you know, and again, is it that you're unconsciously picking up, you know, like body language and things like that, patterns that you don't know, or is there something deeper into it? I love both answers, to be honest.
I think so. And I think it also depends on like the day, right? Because there are days when I'm feeling more connection to this type of spiritual conversation, or I want to talk about these things, and other days when I'm really connected with my intellectual self. Like,
yes.
because
Grounded on earth.
yes, because I'm very critical, right? And there's some days when I'm like, nah, you know, and other days when I'm like, yeah, I totally, this is real, you know? So.
And what gets in the way of hearing your inner knowing?
My brain.
What we just talked
Literally,
about.
absolutely. And I think the other thing is absolutely overthinking. I analyze a lot. Like I'm a very analytical, you know, I'm blessed with a very good brain and love, but it can kind of overlap a little or a lot. And I think you have to trust yourself and trust when your intuition knows.
It is so hard though when you are so like knowledge based too.
Yes.
Because I have that problem a lot too, where my intuition again will say this person is safe. Like there is nothing about this person, I cannot imagine them doing something bad to me.
Yeah.
My brain, my knowledge says, but what about this pattern? You know that a lot of people who do this is because of that. And you know that, you know, a good percentage of people that deal with this is because of that. And then all of a sudden you're kind of building this whole story in your brain that goes against your intuition. And I don't know if it's all that wrong, because you have to also be on earth.
It's a bit of both, maybe.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's the balance of your intuition
I guess it's
and
like thinking instead of overthinking.
Exactly. Well, automatically, because your knowledge, for example, you see like a weird looking step. In the past, you probably stepped on it and you tripped, right? Now I'm like, oh, I'm not going to trip on it. But my intuition may tell me, oh, it looks fine. It's not actually broken, right? But you use your knowledge.
Yeah.
You use your knowledge to know and to learn. So it's a way to actually like take care of yourself, right? So I think it's definitely it goes to balance. It's almost like balance is everything. And consistently, if you're only focusing on one part, it's not going to do you good. You have to use all the tools in your toolkit.
And our world is so more and more black and white these days. And like the balance, we all need it in so many different ways. And it definitely goes with that intuition of, you know, you see, that's the thing though, is that my intuition has never steered me wrong, but you've got to still be, you know, with it enough to not let that like lull you into believing that something is your intuition when it's not.
And I think you can also be critical of your intuition sometimes to like, hold on, why am I thinking that this is okay? I know this, and this. So therefore, am I actually like, maybe your intuition may be right, but it's good to be on guard.
Yeah.
too.
And sometimes you're kind of wondering if you're kind of disguising some of your thoughts as intuitions. Like sometimes I feel like, oh, I'm sensing this, but I realize that no, I overthought this to the point where I now put a little voice in my head that sounds like my intuition, but is not actually my intuition.
It's just
right?
you
it's just me
overthinking.
overthinking and making that little voice of, but we thought all of these things, you know?
Yeah. So I don't know.
So I do think that the balance is great, because even if you 100% trust your intuition, there's no guarantee that you might not trick yourself that way.
I think that's a good way to do it. Trust a bit of both.
So how do you build trust with your intuition? Those questions
They're
go
just
really
they're working
flowing.
with you. I think trust is built, and that's with any relationship with yourself, so with your intuition or with others. And how you build it is just day by day, right? If you listen to your intuition, it'll grow and it'll be easier to listen to it.
Yes.
And it'll be louder. So sometimes it's hard, but I have to remind myself that Paola knows. She knows these things. Yes, I don't know everything, but I know what I know.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's subconscious. I'm like, do I actually know? And I trust. And there could be times when I'm totally wrong. And I still, like, I, as a person, I'm still willing to take that risk because I know the risk is going to be worth it. But that's me. I'm a risk taker, right? Not everyone is like this. Yeah. Maybe that's another reason why we get along. But
I'm not like a risk taker, but I'm
well,
like,
no, there's levels of risk, right? Like you will.
I'm like not a gambler, for example.
Yeah.
Like that's.
I mean,
like
that's a whole
boring
other.
to me.
Yeah, it can be also very addictive, and that's not something we want. But
no, but yeah, risk like that. That definitely like the whole like listening to your intuition type of risk. I am definitely that risk taker.
yeah.
And like I said, like I have built that trust. I have definitely built that trust with my intuition. I feel my intuition tells me that I could continue on and just listen to my intuition, but my brain is saying, let's balance.
Do better.
Let's balance things.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe the balance is good, but I feel like at this point in your life, you've clearly done well by trusting your intuition to get you here.
Oh yeah, like when I think about it, like the bad decisions I've made, my intuitions weren't on board with that.
No. So you have to honor your intuition and listen to her.
Yeah, exactly.
She's telling you something. She's giving you a flag. You're like, hey, listen, flag here, you know?
It's like, I remember things where I was like, yeah, no, I should be leaving this relationship, like, almost immediately. Like, almost immediately. And then you stay for some reason because you're like, oh, shush,
it'll be fine.
We'll make things better. Don't worry. We can live. We can survive anything. So, why?
And I think maybe it's learning from those like situations, right?
Sure.
That's the goal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. You gotta learn to building that trust.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
By learning, listening, and maybe you're not always going to be that good or you won't listen, but you learn from everything, right? So,
oh yeah. Or, I mean, if you ever stop learning, you're doing it wrong.
yeah. I mean, you learn every single day of your life. So,
I had a teacher in grade 1 who said something. It was in French, so I would say it in English, in case no. But he said something that stuck so much that my whole family uses it.
really,
And it's kind of inappropriate to say to a bunch of grade 1s, but he said, each time he taught us something new, he said, you're going to go to bed less stupid tonight. And
yeah, actually real.
yeah, and
we learn something every day. Think about today.
every day you go to
learn
bed less
something.
stupid.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't learn anything, you technically learn from your experiences subconsciously.
Of course, yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Every day you're going to bed a little bit more intelligent, which is the nicer way of saying it.
I love that so much. And if I think, this is a little bit of a detour, but if I think about also, our elders, grandparents, that's why they're so knowledgeable, because they've lived and they've learned so many things every single day of their life, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, my grandmother was so wise.
Oh, absolutely. Same with mine.
Yeah.
I love that. So props to those people who have learned so many things every day.
And that share their wisdom.
Yeah, exactly.
So how does your stage of life shape your spirituality and your intuition?
Yeah. I kind of already spoke a little bit how I'm in a state of learning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think for my stage of life right now, I'm learning, growing, I'm shaping my life, my beliefs. So I think automatically it shapes my spirituality and intuition, because my intuition is growing every day, like moving and dodging with all the punches, as they say. And my spirituality, it's kind of, I really like what you said about how it being fluid, because it absolutely is for me too. There are days when I'm like, yes. And days when I'm like, oh no, not so much. But I think it kind of just works, and it creates a state or an idea of spirituality that
it helps you feel connected without having to commit.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with committing if you're believing wholeheartedly in it, then that's great. But when you don't, it's nice to have that connection without, buying into something you don't believe.
And I think also spirituality can evolve, right? So maybe, and this is also for me too, maybe I don't fully believe because I haven't seen the right thing, experienced the right thing, learned it in a certain way, read the book. Like, there's so many religions also. I don't know.
Yes.
I feel like I need to know more. Again, I'm such an intellectual person. I want to know.
Oh, I know. I actually looked into going into university for theology, which is really, because at the time I was not spiritual at all, but I was still so interested, because I don't know, like, I like history, but I don't like the whole wars and dates and
yes, that can be numbing.
And this is more like the history of humanity. Like, it's really the heart.
Yeah, the values.
Really the heart of humans, like what they believe. And to me, that's always like really fascinated me. So yeah, I totally feel that for my stage of life, I have had, so I grew up Catholic.
Yeah.
Went to Catholic school, got all of my sacraments. I kind of diverged from the church because there was a lot of things that I didn't believe in. And I don't even mean like things that they were doing or anything like that. That's a whole different topic that I don't want to get into here. But just like, not everything made sense. And I'm someone who does, like, it sounds silly, but it's like I'm so true that I can't give myself to something and pretend that I believe it fully. Like, it has to be something that I believe fully. Some years ago, I went and I did some art workshops at the Baha'i Center. And I, got some books about the religion and learned more about it. And a lot of it I loved. A lot of it aligned with what I was thinking. But again, not all of it. And I'm not going to join a religion and pretend that I believe it. I don't need it. Some people might need it, and that's fine. Like, if you need, like, you don't have to believe everything in the religion. Like, absolutely. Like, if you feel like you want that community, I'm a little bit of a loner. So
it is also a community, right?
Yes.
Because you can believe in something together or pray in something together, and
It's
it's
very
almost
comforting.
it is, and it's almost the exponential energy if you're all praying together about one thing. I believe in energies, and so that I can imagine.
It's funny, like I often say,
lot.
I don't believe in religion, but I believe in prayer.
Interesting.
Because there's just so many times that I've seen it like
Work almost.
work, and it's just like, because even if we look at it on the very like basic human, like grounded scientific or whatever way, the idea that these people are thinking about you, are putting their like, you know, their
It's the
heart-
thought.
it's
It's
it's comforting, and
Sure.
and our body controls so much about
Yeah.
our like subconsciously,
Yeah.
and just having that comfort can heal.
Absolutely, I agree. Because then you believe, and if your brain believes, it can lead to your body. I think it's a full circle. And that's what's really interesting, because I do think that I believe in some type of prayer. I'm not so sure about the structured, formal type of,
But I do believe if the people saying it believe it, then it's very powerful.
Also, that
Very
is
powerful.
absolutely true. I agree with that. Yeah, just a couple of doubters here, and then we have so many ideas.
Yeah, well, I don't know. There's just like, we learn like more and more stranger and stranger things that are true, right?
Yeah.
Like in you thinking about like quantum physics and all of
Yeah.
that stuff. And you realize that so much of what connects us is so mysterious and
Yeah.
so difficult to understand, that if there's something controlling us, like, what are the chances that I could actually fully understand it? But at
Yeah.
the same time, I feel that that's, you know, that religion is kind of like a great way of putting structure on it.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that, you know, I'm going to get a little bit deep here. And I said I'm not going to do this, but I'm going to do this. If you think about the structure of reality, and how, like, even like, you know, like, the more they're like looking into it, the weirder even reality seems. You can think that people who believe specific religion, it might absolutely be true, because two realities might be true at the same time.
Interesting. Oh wow. Yeah. That's a big idea.
Yeah, but it doesn't not make sense.
Yeah. And that's the thing. We don't know.
And,
Right?
Yeah. And it's like, it's, you know, when you think about it, like, just respect everyone and their beliefs, as long as these beliefs are not harming anyone.
Well, I think it goes back to human being at our core. If we learn these strong values,
Yes.
then it makes us, quote unquote, a good person. And I think that's the goal. How can we be good people?
I just know, like, a lot of like agnostic or atheist people kind of look down on religious people, and I don't like that, because
No, me neither.
I feel like, again, like, I feel like so many things can be true at the same time.
No, so I feel, are they doing anything wrong?
No, definitely not.
Are they harming you?
Well, no, you know what I mean? If you're following your religion properly, you're not harming anyone.
Exactly. So, no. That's it.
That's it.
So we wanted to finish off this week maybe by doing using the Wings of Light, the notebook, the workbook, and doing a wing beat, like a daily wing
Okay.
beat type of activity.
All right, are we going to do it out loud or in our minds?
What do you think?
I don't know. I'm feeling a little on the spot, but maybe we should be on the spot.
Okay, so let's do it out loud then. So the way we're going to do it is breath one, and then we're going to talk about, for me today, God is. And again, God as the idea, not as, it can be super fluid. Breath two, the whisper beneath my thoughts. So anything that comes beneath that idea. And then breath three, one way I want to honor or follow this feeling. And what I mean by breath 1, breath 2, breath 3 is that breath 1, you breathe. And that would be breath 1. And during that breath, I would think about one of these, okay? And then, yeah. So maybe let's do one breath at a time together.
Okay.
Okay. I think for me today, God is patient.
For me today, God is love.
Yeah. Okay. I think beneath my thoughts, I need to be gentler to myself. I've been too hard on myself lately. I need to just like calm down.
I think the whisper beneath my thoughts is how love is probably like the best way of describing all of the good things that we said, like we like about religion.
That's lovely. And one way I want to honor this feeling is by loving myself and those around me.
I think I'm actually going to honor by feeling the same way. It really connects.
Yeah.
I don't know. It
was almost like a co-regulation too.
Yeah,
Did you feel that?
I felt that for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, it felt like very powerful.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
No. And I think it's also our tone of voice completely changed and set the mood. That was lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me with that.
That was, I loved it.
Thank you. And anyone who wants to join us.
Of meditation.
Yeah, literally like a
Yeah.
co-regulation meditation thing. That was lovely.
I feel so like my nervous system softened.
Yes. Full circle here.
Yes.
I love that. And let that be the anchor you guys need. Try it out, because sometimes these little activities, they're helpful. And you can try them out throughout your week. See if it helps. So next week, we're exploring still the same chapter, but we're exploring more spiritual grounding and practices that make you feel connected to something bigger.
And we'll be sharing a similar ritual, but we're going to inspire it by our full flight reflection this time.
Cool.
And the movement from encounter to integration.
Oh, okay. That's going to be a big one.
It sounds complicated, but I think it's going to be very much like intuition.
Okay.
It's going to be intuitive.
I'm excited. So yeah, join us next Thursday for spiritual grounding.
Until then, I hope you keep searching within yourself for the light you need.
Bye.
We can't have one more.